Every year around the new year, I do a bunch of activities to reset my life and create a clean slate for the year ahead. And I feel myself doing it all in case you want inspiration on your own New Year's reset journey. Today, I'm decluttering my life and designing my spaces. I want to declutter and clean out the old, but I also want to design my spaces so that they align with my goals. I'm a big believer in the idea that the tiniest changes in your environment can change your life. And this can be changes as little as getting a water bottle that feels really easy to drink out of, so you drink 2 times as much water in the next year. Moving your journals so that they're more accessible to you, so you journal every single day and your mindset feels completely different from the start of the year to the end of the year. Creating a home for your phone when you sleep so that it's not disrupting your sleep at night. You're in a better mood all year. You feel more emotionally regulated throughout your days. Which is why in this video, I want to start with a big declutter and then move on to designing my space for the behaviors that I want to do more of in the next year. The first thing I'm looking at is my wardrobe. I know that it's time to do a bit of a declutter of my clothes when my drawers are overstuffed and getting things in feels like a mission. I have stayed so true to KonMari folding. I love vertical folding. Usually my drawers look so neat. It's easy to be neat when you fold this way, unless you have too many clothes, which is where I'm at the moment. I need to let go of some things. So I got to work. I took every single item of clothing out of its home. I like taking things out so that I can see them in a fresh light. Otherwise, I feel like it's really easy to pass over things and be like, oh yeah, I'll keep that. But when you take it out and you hold it up and look at it, it's a little different. And I ended up with 2 drawers where everything actually fit, and look how neat it looks when everything fits. Then I moved to my super cluttered pajama drawer, but a lot of this was actually winter stuff that I was able to easily put away where my winter clothes are stored. So I got that looking all nice. And then I moved to my wardrobe. Once again, I took everything out. This is an end of year declutter, so we want to do it right. And I got rid of just about anything that didn't fit nicely, look flattering, or just wasn't the right color for me as well. The shoes that I'm picking up actually look really great, but all of them are really uncomfortable or they're falling apart. Then I slowly refilled in my wardrobe and I used this opportunity to organize everything and have it looking all neat. I spaced out all of the hangers and got it looking really nice and neat to emphasize that fresh start effect. I didn't declutter too much my wardrobe, but this was a really good chance to reorganize things. I feel like it'd gotten really messy. And same goes with my shoes. Here are a few of the things that I'm getting rid of. I have these pants. I actually already had these pants ready to declutter. They were sitting in the boot of my car when I went on a boat. I got really wet and I needed a pair of pants because my pants were see-through. So they're returning to their original destination. I have these shoes. I thrifted these. I actually love them and I really want a pair of boots like this. These are just so uncomfortable. I still am going to try to find something exactly like these that aren't the worst. I'm getting rid of this purple collared top. These are also thrifted. They kind of look more like pajama pants on me than they do cute, nice pants. I'm also getting rid of these shoes. Once again, so uncomfortable. Also thrifted. These are some cheapy tops that just don't flatter me very much. I have 2 yellow shorts pants that I'm getting rid of. I had a real yellow phase and then I realized that yellow isn't my color. This year, I really want to do 80% of my clothes thrifted, 20% new. I recently, to be fair, skimmed through a book about effective altruism. I specifically wanted to read the section that was on clothing. Honestly, I really struggled with it. A lot of it was arguing that sweatshops were actually healthy and helpful for a lot of countries that are struggling. And when you stop buying, it puts people out of jobs. I haven't had the time to sit down and really think it through. And that's not at all the message that I'm promoting, but it does still feel important for me to not be super wasteful when it comes to buying clothes, as much as I love clothes. So 80% thrifted, 20% new feels good. If you have any good resources on effective altruism where people have really considered every perspective, that's what I'm interested in. And there is empathy, but there's also practicality involved. But at my core, I am a practical gal. I want to know what is practical, what actually will work, what is actually helpful, if anyone even knows. I'm in such a weird headspace of, does anyone have any answers when it comes to anything politically and activism-wise and, buying the right thing with your dollar? Because there is no perfect action, and that is something that is really hard for me to grasp. But going back to my point, this year 80% thrifted or secondhand, but overall my first decluttering session feels good. I feel a little cleansed. The next thing I really want to move on to is my kitchen. First, we have this corner cupboard that truly is just kind of random. We've also got these racks in our hallway that have kind of become Luke's shoe storage, and it just isn't my ideal vision for this hallway. So I decided to actually make this front cupboard Luke's shoe storage, since it wasn't being used well. That way it keeps the shoes out of sight. I took everything in the cupboard out and I went through, decluttered it all. I only started this in the afternoon, so then I had to sleep. and woke up, and it was time to get back to the kitchen, where I started with my container cupboard. But before I talk about that, here was the before of that cupboard, and this truly was like a junk cupboard. I hadn't taken the time to organize it or figure out what the purpose of it was. And here is the after. It's looking so purposeful, so clean. I did keep in here things like sunscreen and mozzie spray because I like having that at the door. But other than that, it's a Luke's shoe storage cupboard. This is where my container storage is at. Currently, every time I go to get a container, I'm baffled. I can't find anything. I have so many lids without containers and I don't know where the containers have gone. And I've also collected a bunch of containers, like these ones that I never bought, and I don't know where they came from. Have I stolen someone's containers? Every time I tried to find a container, I was struggling. And now that I'm looking at all of the lids without containers, it all checks out. I'm gonna put this all back in. I love that thing. And I love maybe. These are all of the lids that I couldn't find a container pair for. I don't know how this happened. So here's what it looked like before I decluttered, and here is the after. So nice and neat. And now I know whenever I go in to grab a container, there's actually going to be a lid, which is so nice. Then I moved to my kitchen drawers. These were so stuffed and full. I took everything out of my drawers, I put it on a picnic blanket, and I started going through everything one by one. I also cleaned out the drawers along the way. I'm at that point in the decluttering process where everything's a mess, and I'm thinking, is everything going to be okay? Are we gonna get through this? And the answer is always yes. We're gonna be fine. And I grabbed these drawer dividers from Kmart. I figured what I was doing wasn't working, so I needed to do something different, hence drawer dividers. I ended up reorganizing most of these drawers. Here's what this drawer looked like before. Here's the after, and this drawer before and after. Before and after. Did need to do a quick trip to Kmart. I got these linen look ottomans for storage. So instead of the hallway being a Luke's shoe storage situation, it looks like this. In the ottomans, I put our beach towels, and I relocated our shopping bags, which were previously in this cupboard, over to here. I actually ended up with a whole bag of kitchen stuff to get rid of, and that felt really good because my kitchen has truly been feeling chaotic for so long. Then I wanted to do something about this space for my cat. Currently, it's a bit of an eyesore. I got a mini version of the ottoman, and I put the container in there. Obviously, the scrub daddy didn't go in there. I'm going to spray all of these boxes so that they're spill-proof, given that they're in the kitchen, but for the moment I put this clear adhesive paper just around the sides in case Luna decides to be messy with her eating as a temporary measure. The next thing I wanted to do was to put the items on top of this cupboard in a tray. The difference that a tray can make is world changing. I did line this tray and then I put in my toaster, I put in my crock pot, things that had just been sitting out in the open before, and it looked so much better. Such a small change, such a big difference. And then I did something that might be questionable. I decided that I wanted to sand and paint this with chalk paint. This isn't so much decluttering as it is getting this space to feel nice again. Was this the right choice? I'm not sure. I might change it later, we'll see. I also put up this big calendar on the wall to plan mainly date nights and also our weekly meals. I want this to very much be a me and Luke calendar. So this is what the hallway looked like before, very much shoe storage. I put all of the bags, the keys, the sunglasses back up, and here's what we ended up with. I want to quickly acknowledge 1000% this has no sole yet. I feel like I almost had to strip the sole away. I will add the sole back. I just want it to feel fresh and minimal, but I promise I'm going to add some personality into this hallway. But that's not for this video. Now my goal is to design my space in alignment with how I want to spend my time. I'm really focusing on my night routine. I love a phone-free night. I love not sleeping with my phone next to me. But lately there have been a few things in the way of that happening. Firstly, I don't really have a place to put my phone while I go to sleep. I have this charging station, but it's tucked in here. It's kind of hard for me to get to. So the first thing I did was move that. That way it's super easy for me to put my phone on this little charging station while I go to sleep at night. But also a lot of the reason I'll take my phone into bed with me is because it has Libby on it, which is an app for my local library where I can get out audiobooks for free. What I really want to be doing at night is journaling. I also really like using the word search app on my phone sometimes, especially if I'm having one of those days where I'm just thinking too much before bed. Thinking too much before bed is so bad for your sleep. I made a whole video where I talked about that, but you need to be able to slow your mind down, and for me, word searches is one of the best ways to do that. And because both of those things are on my phone, of course I'm taking my phone in with me to sleep. What I really want to be doing at night is journaling, brain dumping, reading my Kindle, listening to audiobooks, doing word searches, and doing my skincare. Those are my ideal night activities. So I want to design my nightstand to make that all a lot easier to happen. Right now my nightstand is taken up by a tissue box and a lamp. So let's fix that. First I got this wall sconce. It's a rechargeable touch lamp, and best of all, it attaches to the wall. So that gives me so much space on my bedside table. Then I moved my tissue box down into one of the drawers. I don't really need this out in the open, and I was left with so much space, so I cleared that off. I used this tablet holder to hold my journal. I also have this mini whiteboard that I love using. Sometimes I just don't want to journal pen to paper. It just doesn't feel that serious. I don't need something permanent, but journaling on a whiteboard is super ideal ideal for me, so I wanted that there. And I also had this really cheap, really old, really bad tablet. And on that tablet, I installed the app to access my membership, a word search app. I only just downloaded this. This is an app for seniors. I'm having that realization now, as well as Libby, so that I can listen to all the audiobooks that I want, but I don't need my phone. And I want to say that this tablet is really bad. Even for any videos I want to watch on my app, I'll probably have to pre-download them. It's clunky, it is slow, which usually would be bad, but it really means that there's no chance I would try to watch TikTok on this tablet. There is no chance that I'd even try for Netflix on this tablet. There's way too much friction, it's too annoying. I also have a few bits of skincare and nail care that I want to use at night here, and these really bad $2 headphones that I can use to listen to any audiobook I want. That way I never have to go, oh my gosh, where are my AirPods? It makes it super easy. I am so happy just looking at this. This is actually my dream bedside table setup. I'm so excited. 1000% I'll journal more. 1000% I'll listen to audiobooks more. I'll probably also put my Kindle on here too. I think this video is actually going to be a two-parter because there's so much that I want to do in this first week of the year. But I also want to get this video up so that you have some inspiration and motivation if you're on your reset journey. And this has already taken longer than I thought that it would. I was hoping to get this uploaded last night. If you're looking for more videos to inspire you, if you're getting life admin done, or if you're decluttering, I have a whole playlist for you. It's on the screen. I also have my New Year's reset playlist if you're just in a New Year's reset era and you want some inspiration. I'll have that linked below. I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you soon.